are back with another episode of Ultimate Blerds. It's your boy Recruit Zero.
What's good, y'all? It's Uncle Charles.
And we are here to talk about something that's very close to home in this community. Can you be a nerd and be cool at the same time? I think we pull it off.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we do.
We pull it off.
I feel like I got my Stephon RKO going on. You know what I'm saying? I took the cool juice. You know what I'm saying? I'm dancing with a white suit on. You know what I'm saying? In your living room.
Kill him with the shoulders.
You know what I'm saying? Tell Carl he got to move to the left. Right. I'm up in here. Tell everybody to move back.
But people... It's really
all I do is walk around you. I ain't even dance. I just be like, "What's up, girl?" Walk around you like, "Hey, take these off." Oh, it's on now. It's on.
But it's definitely a hot topic because I mean, at one point in time, probably as we were growing up, those two things were not synonymous.
Let's go back. I feel like it's important to have this conversation. For real, you have to go back to like the 90s, right? Early 2000s. Right. Some of y'all weren't even born yet.
But we need to talk about the definitions.
Yes, we need to talk about definitions. Should we start there?
Yeah, let's start with the definitions.
Okay, so I looked it up thanks to Merriam-Webster. Or whichever one Apple uses. And I was like, a geek is a person who is knowledgeable about and obsessively interested in a particular subject, especially in one that is technical or of specialist or niche interest, excuse me. Mm-hmm. A nerd is a person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, and then the same thing in something that's really technical. Right. But there's a key difference here between the two. And that is extremely enthusiastic.
And the enthusiasm be out.
It'd be out. And I think, but let's before the enthusiasm, right? Like it was like everyone was like a nerd, like on the low. Yeah, right? For sure. If you
except for those specific exceptions, like the kid who would run the lunch with the Naruto arms. Yeah. You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
We knew he was out there.
I had a dude at Morehouse who carried like 2 wooden swords. And like, I used to always wonder what was going on with that. And like, I was intrigued because I was like, I feel like he's like down to kill all of us. Right. So I don't know if this is for a prop or if he's like seriously a samurai. Like he actually knows the skills. But yeah, like they were the dudes who running, you know, they would be yelling like anime phrases and all. But even before then, before it was cool to run in the hallway, like you had to do that stuff on the low. Like you watched your Dragon Ball on bootleg VHS, the Japanese version. On the low, like you could not tell anybody. It was like he was a secret drug addict. Like it was like, yeah, y'all, I'm out, y'all. Like you go play outside and you go home, and it was like Ronin Warriors. Right,
you in the basement.
Go like this, close the door. It's like and watch like that is how it started.
That's true. That's how it started. Like, then it started getting a little more mainstream with like Adult Swim stuff like that. Then you start having the kids trying to power up to Super Saiyan at school.
But you never tell nobody.
That's true.
And there's something in that, right? Like there are those who adapted, right? And like it made you be more social about other things and gave you more to talk about, right? And then it just added that piece in there, right? And that's where your geeks come in, right? It's like I geek out about this, but I have other interests and other things outside of just anime, right? So it's like, yeah, I like fancy wine. I like liquor. I like cars. I like clothes. I like this. You know, I'm into hip hop real hard. And I like this as well. Where I think we kind of, what we think about though, right? Yeah. Is like the dude who's good at Smash, right? It's like we know what he looks like. Everyone who's listening, you just close your eyes. You see him. You know what he's talking about. Yeah. It's like the fogged up glasses, which I don't understand, like the fogged up glasses. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
The
like
fogged up glasses, no lineup.
None, you know, just chilling. And like that is who we think about, right? And what's hilarious about it is that is not that's not typical. Right?
Yeah, like, that's not everybody.
It is a subset, right? It is that person exists within this, you know,
within the
pantheon,
culture.
Within the culture. But most people are geeks.
Yeah, that's true. People definitely. I mean, like you said, when we were younger, you had to hide it. Now it's like it's celebrated. Like there's people who aren't really in that culture that see it as a way to market themselves, connect. Like you'll have Twitch streamers doing cosplay, all that type of stuff, whereas like they know this draws in an audience.
I saw Kev on stage like doing cosplay like just recently at like DreamCon, and he was posting it. And so like there's room for it like now to be open, but I also think part of that is just like consumerism. And like
it's so much more accessible now. You don't have to get bootleg VHSs from Japan anymore.
Hey man, see this is the problem. When you had to go to like your import store for the bootleg, like we were paying like $40 for like 2 episodes, and you had to tune on the VHS. There was no subtitles. It was just straight Japanese. You just wanted to see Gotenks, and you were like, "Oh my god!" Like, I'm on something. Like, but I think part of the reason why it's so mainstream is less about how cool it is, because we know it to be cool, right? We know it for the stories. We know why it's dope, but like we need things for the engine. The engine of like capitalism. Right. And it's like after we done burnt everything else, like
you gotta start mining other stuff.
What can we mine? And we know that geeks and nerds, right, are some of the most passionate fan bases of things. Right. Like outside of sports, I will put your geeks and nerds as like top tier.
Exactly.
Like, economic generating things for properties. I mean, look at Marvel. Look at DC. Look at video games. Like all these things are us. And like once, you know, the engine knows it can make money,
it's gonna start grabbing.
Prime example. I love Skyrim. Right? I'm a Skyrim dude. I'm an Elder Scrolls dude. Oblivion. So when Game of Thrones came out, I was like,
it was lit.
There's no way. No, I watched it and I loved it. I was like, oh man, it's dragons and fantasy and stuff like this. I was like, there's no way about 15 people that I know are ever going to watch this show. It's going to be like me and 2 other people that I'm like, anybody watch Game of Thrones? And somebody's going to be like, I do. And I'll be like, oh, snap. So like, imagine my surprise when I jump on social media.
And it's a mass pop culture movement.
It's everybody like, I'm like, y'all like dragons now? Like, y'all like, oh, so that's what we are? Oh, man, we were watching Game of Thrones every da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, the same stuff y'all was dissing back in school.
I think it was also about the sex and the violence.
That lasted for like 1 episode. Daenerys got bent over like in the first hour. And after that, like that was it. But I'm just saying that type of thing. Like, I think that's where like what has brought it mainstream. In bringing it mainstream, I think people have felt a little more comfortable.
For sure.
Because when you think about from the 80s to the 90s, you know, at the time in Americana, it was about the jocks. You know, like you had Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like that, but mostly it was about the jocks. And it was like they are the ones that are popular. We as Americans have deemed this as popular.
That's true.
And so if you like this other stuff, you can just... Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
I mean, for sure. And that's why, I mean, now as we're in, I would think the golden age of like the mainstream popularization of geek culture now, you got Marvel, DC, people who didn't want to be seen in a comic book store. They're like, yo, Captain America, da-da-da-da.
You're paying the $60 for the 3-hour 14-hour
now
marathon.
It's mass culture because it's been brought to the larger stage through, I mean, obviously, you make something a movie, you probably more than likely catching more people than a comic book. So the rise of cinematic universes, for sure, which is why everybody's trying to scramble for cinematic universes. You know, the tech advancements, you got the YouTubers, where now that's a lucrative occupation to be a nerd, really, where you go, there's channels that's nothing but watching people play video games.
There was G4 TV back in the day.
There was, but that was a niche channel. So it wasn't like that was on like NBC. That was still over here for those who wanted it. Now you got Twitch streamers, all of that, doing nothing but playing video games.
Athletes, you got football players doing anime moves, all of that, touchdown celebration.
Right, exactly. You got the gaming industry. That's, like you said, another thing for the machine to mine, and they've realized, like, hey, this is a deep well to mine, and we can make money out of this. You see with all the video game, movie conversions, all of that, trying to bring it to mass culture. So you got all of that plus like Dragon Con, Comic Con, all the different, cons and stuff like that. It's just everyone can be a part of it now. And
as a people, what I've enjoyed about it is our ability to like be more than just one thing, right? It's opened it up for us to like be more.
For sure.
And like really let, our geek flags fly, right? And I think that's very important, right? I think our expression a lot of times has really been like narrowed to this. Yeah. Like we can only act like this. Right. We can only talk like this. The music is shaped like this. Yeah. And what this has shown is like, nah, like you can do that and this. You can blend this and this. You can like hip hop and find MF Doom who has references to Godzilla and Fantastic Four, and all these other references, and blending it in ways that are like new and cool and different and speak to us. Exactly. But it isn't all good.
No, it's not.
It's You would think that like the people who were alienated and talked about a little bit, or just felt like they didn't have a place of their own to kind of like talk about the things that they love, you would think it being open to everybody would be amazing. Yeah. Right? And that is not.
Nah, it's like certain people want to have that nerd cred, and it's like, bro, that's not how you build the culture, by trying to be a gatekeeper. Yeah. Like being that person, like, oh, you like Dragon Ball? What was the character in episodes?
I've never had nobody 453.
Like, dog.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares at all.
Hey, but those again, that type of thing. Here's what it's one of those things where it's like I was, and this is what they say. I don't say this. Yeah. Like I think it's dope that there's like all types of stuff. But you get a certain group of people who was like, it was done to me. Now I must do it to you. Right. Like, because it wasn't the cool thing and y'all made fun of me, I'm not going to let y'all in my clubhouse. I'm not going to let you in my treehouse. If you're a woman, you're not getting in the treehouse. Right, if that's whack. You're not getting in the treehouse. Like, if you don't play these games or watch this obscure show, like, I watch shows now and I watch a bunch of stuff and I hardly remember names. Yeah. I describe like what the person looked like and what he did. It'd be old boy, old girl. That's everybody's name. Old boy, old girl. Right. And it's this hurt. Right. Exactly. And it's like you gotta let that hate out your heart.
Yeah. Like you want to stay marginalized. It's like I see people on the internet complain like, oh, they didn't like me because I was a nerd, such and such. And now you got women trying to join the culture, finding where they fit in and stuff. And you want to ask them, what's the character in episode 653 of One Piece? Like, bro, be happy somebody shares your interest.
Nah, you're scaring the ladies, bro. Exactly. You're scaring the ladies, bro. It's like you came in the room, we was all chilling, and then you scaring the ladies,
bro. It's like you're throwing off the vibe, bro.
You're killing the vibe. It's like, why? Like, especially with women. Like, that's the most interesting thing I've seen as like people not wanting women in the space. Right. When I was growing up, it was like, oh my God. She like this?
Exactly.
Like, you like this? Like, oh snap. Like, let's talk about it. Like, that's some stuff like I'm not getting no numbers talking about Goku. Like, it's like I gotta keep that in the tuck. Like, I gotta wait till we in the relationship to like be like, here's this thing I like. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, I've been having to show you all the ancillary things I like. I mean, this right here is my main love. Like all my toys, like my Transformer toys right here. It's like you had to. So it just like this welcoming thing, and plus, I think like there was this camaraderie of knowing that someone else liked the same thing that you like.
For sure,
right? Like when we first met, it was like, "Oh, you like this?" Exactly. And it was just like, "Yo, did you see this?" And like it allows you to get put on to other things. Exactly. So it's like I only know what I know. But if I meet you and you like the same thing, you might have seen a show that I haven't seen.
Expanding the horizon.
Yeah, expanding my horizons. Yeah. And that way I'm not just trapped in watching the same thing.
Exactly, because I can't know about everything. So it's like you got to learn from other people, get put on and stuff, appreciate that. and, you know, keep building your experiences through the culture. Because otherwise you're going to be stuck on, I started with this one and I never went to anything else. It's like, that's whack.
It is whack. It is one of those things where I'm just like, please step up your social skills.
Right. And it's like, you
let it go.
There's casual fans, there's hardcore fans, but at the same time, they're all fans. Like, you shouldn't down nobody because they didn't watch the limited edition Christmas special of the joint you like. It's like, oh, you rock with the joint? Cool. Check this out. Like, people need to be more welcoming in the culture. Like, you got people doing amazing cosplays and somehow coming hating like, oh, well, this detail wasn't da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, bruh, they just did all of this and you're mad? Like, you're a hater.
You're a straight and the cosplay is fire. Like, I was just running on a tangent. Yes. It's like, I love when I see us cosplay.
Yes.
And, I mean, you have, like, one of the biggest stars right now, like, kind of leading a charge in cosplay. Like, look at Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
Like, anime videos, like inspired by video games that she played.
That's fact.
Shows she likes.
And people be hating. Like, bro, Megan Thee Stallion likes what you like. There's no reason for you to be hating, bro. Stop it. You stop it.
He is going to write you. He has, and that be the thing, right? It's like, it's not just like you gatekeeping and you making it like tough.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like in this crowd of people that we're talking about like being cool. And like cool is relative, right?
Yeah,
it's just say but there's also like you can look at something and know like something's cool.
Exactly.
Like, you know, not
for
cool.
Sure.
But like it goes the extra mile. Like this is something that like in this like nerd geek community that is like really sullying a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, not just anime, but games, movies, where like the loud few are making it hard for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to have a take. You don't want to do this because they review bomb you. They do these different things.
Yeah. Like an extension of the Gamergate situation.
Yeah. It makes it difficult. And it's like, why? What is the problem of more money?
Right.
And resources coming into the thing?
Like that grows the culture. You want it to stay your little group of friends being the only one supporting this anime and wonder why the anime stops being created because the writers and the animators can't have a living wage because nobody was watching it. It's like, bro, you got to grow it to keep enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to do it for you for free.
let me ask you this. What advice would you give someone who is, like, struggling? Or one of those people who are like, oh, they didn't like me back in the day, and now, like, this is cool. Y'all are fake fans. Like, what advice would you give them on, like, how to turn it around?
The advice I would give you... Build the social skills, bro. It's not because you like anime, because everybody like anime now. Build the social skills, get fresh, you know, hit the gym a little bit. Like, just make yourself presentable to the people that you want to be around. That's all it is. They don't hate you. You just gotta fit into the group with them. They like the same stuff you like, bro. It's not the anime. In this year, is not the anime, bro.
It's really because all you like is the anime.
That too. Expand your horizon. Diversify your bonds, brother.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
If you don't even know where that came from, like that is right. Here, there's an example, a layup of what you need to do. I really do think that is something that we don't talk enough about, right? It's like giving people the opportunity to say, love other things outside of this nerd stuff.
That's facts. Because a winning personality is never predicated on one piece. No. It's like you got to be well-rounded to exist in this world. So you can't make anime your personality. That can be
or video games.
Right, or video games. Or comics. Or cosplay or comics. Like you gotta be well-rounded and know how to deal with people. Or none of that matters and you just gonna be bitter.
I always think about it like this. Like if I'm at a bar with my friends, right? Like I'm probably talking about a million other things outside of something nerdy.
Right.
Right? Like if I do talk about something nerdy, it's within the context, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not, in that context, it's like it just don't fit.
Yeah.
It's like I have other things in my toolkit to hit on. And so it's like find something else to like. If it's cars, like cars. If it's painting, painting. Now you could be a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Like you could want to grow, you could be a botanist. Like there's all types. You could skateboard. And there find something that intersects. Would be my advice. It's like, all right, we know video games and hip hop and skateboarding and sneakers and all these things start running together.
Exactly.
Right? Start finding ways to make those things run together. So you have a repertoire and an arsenal outside of that to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
That's that makes people boring. You know what I'm saying? All you know is this.
That's true.
In terms of getting fresh and cleaning up, one thing I will say, right? This is something I want for all the fellas out there. It's something I thought about long. It's a theory I've had in my head. I've tested it a while. And it's something I live by. I mean, clearly I have a lot of hair, and I don't have a lineup, right? Denzel Washington never had a lineup outside of Training Day. And women love Denzel. You don't have to have a lineup.
Right.
You just need other things to supersede you not having a lineup. Maybe you taper the sides. Maybe you have a fly outfit on.
Right.
Maybe you smell good. But I just know in every Spike Lee joint with Denzel, he never had no lineup.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. I still loved him. And what was he when he played the trumpet?
Oh, Mo Better Blues?
No lineup.
No lineup.
Wife beater, no lineup. Just chilling.
They still flocking.
It's like you interrupted my groove. I'm trying to train. You ain't trying to train. I'll let you in here. You know what I'm saying? It's just believe in yourself. As much Naruto as y'all watch, I don't believe in yourselves.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself, bro.
That's the main lesson of every anime. Believe in yourself.
Get you a crew that makes you feel good.
Right.
And just start welcoming people. You'd be surprised what will show up. You know what I'm saying? In your sphere, just by being welcoming, right? And how many people will welcome you? Being cool. Again, like I said this before, being cool is very subjective.
Yeah.
To different pockets of people. I'm
true.
cool to some people, probably lame to others, probably just nerdy to others. I mean, it's just what it is, right? I know I can't be cool there. I can't do the light skin squint. It's just not in, I ain't got it, right? You know what I'm saying? There's just certain things I'm gonna pull up on, right? In dressing and stuff, there's only a level of fly I'm going to reach. And then there's just a level of fly with the people who want their ankles showing,
right.
You know what I'm saying? No socks. I'm not going to be that dude. But I know I can fit it. But I know my personality is fly enough that I can be in any space and I'll be straight.
Exactly.
Right?
Connect.
It just furthers the culture. It furthers what we got going on.
That's true.
It brings more people in. And like you said, bringing more people in is more resources for us to do cool stuff.
Right.
So that show that you always wanted or that thing you always wanted, how it gets made into a show. It's you and your friends got more friends that got more people to talk about it online. And now people are yo, I want to do this.
Exactly. Because on the other side, we mad when stuff gets canceled.
Yeah. Netflix is smooth to cancel. I'm pretty good at what gets canceled by Netflix. I can watch a show now and be this ain't making it out the first season. You got this. I love Jeff Goldblum. He was fired. He was pretty cool as a god in chaos. But I watched that show. I was like, this ain't
not gonna make it.
This ain't gonna make it. But there's a lot of shows that are like that, and it is because of the numbers.
Yeah,
there's a reason Game of Thrones kept going. It's because it was more than just the mainstream audience.
That's true,
right? It was a type of thing that was just going.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where we need to get to.
Yeah,
right? We just,
definitely welcome more people, be well rounded. Stay fresh. And stop trying to be gatekeepers.
Stop gatekeeping.
The gatekeeping never builds anything.
Because there's always going to be someone who's going to check you.
Right.
Right. You busy? Yeah. It was no, go to the cons, buy the toys like everybody else, buy the shirt, post it on Instagram, enjoy it, and Or just teach someone, or play the role. Stop being a gatekeeper and be a teacher.
That's a good way to put it. Because if a woman come up to you and is like, yo, I like this too, and you ask her, if you try to give her a quiz, you're losing. You're losing, brother. You are losing. Do not do that. Don't do that. Okay? Just accept it and bring her in. Okay? Got you.
Or just be a normal human being and just be like, hey, that's dope. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. Oh, you can watch it on this streaming platform. I think you would like it. Oh, appreciate it.
Boom. Connection.
It ain't that hard to have a conversation. I'm supposed to be making it way more difficult than it ought to be, right?
Right.
You just made a friend.
Taking it too serious. Like, you don't own none of these anime properties. Why are you trying to be...
That's gatekeeping overall in all the nerdom, bro.
Yeah.
People, when they fight over PlayStation and Xbox, I'm like, they're not paying y'all.
I mean, but PlayStation better. But
on the payroll. On the payroll, though, man. So I have a hard time.
I could be on the payroll, Sony. I need a PS5 Pro, baby.
I'm gonna wait for that PS6. I'm not getting a PS5 Pro, bro. Sony ain't gonna pimp me, but one time in this generation.
One time in generation.
One time in generation. You gonna get me one time in generation. You ain't gonna get me. But I mean, like, I own like all consoles. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's like if you enjoy something, you consume it. Like, why stop at just PlayStation or just Xbox or just Nintendo? Like I get all the consoles, not at one time, but like. Get them all. Like, that's the whole point of this. And I guess what I'm trying to drive home is like enjoy it. Like all of that's it. The goal. Like stop sitting in one camp of this is where I live and die. Like don't nobody care, fool. Like go explore this other thing. Like that thing is cool too. That is what makes this dope. That'd be like if I was like a movie buff and I was like, I only watch rom-coms.
Right.
And you don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody would take you serious.
You'd be like, wait, that's it? Like you didn't see the rom-com? You didn't see like 20 Dates Later or something? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the like I only watched this movie. And I would say like what I said. It was She's All That. I think I was in like middle school or high school. That was like the date movie. Or like the movie like we could all get into because we was all like young. So like I had to see that one a lot. But that just made me think about it. I was talking about rom-coms. But yeah, it's like I only watch rom-coms. I only watch sci-fi movies. It's like, so you don't watch nothing else? Nah, do you know what happened at 36 minutes and 13 seconds of Event Horizon? No, I don't. Like, we would all be like, wait, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
It's just crazy. Yeah. And it's just something.
But I mean, for sure. I definitely think I like how geek culture, nerd culture, all of that has expanded since we were kids. And I definitely think it has a future, especially since it's now is now a main engine for media consumption. So I just want everybody who's also in the culture to get along, stop gatekeeping, keep expanding the culture, and stop hating. Stop hating. Just enjoy it.
I'm gonna end it like this. Stop gatekeeping, start teaching.
Boom. And that's the word. We got Ultimate Blerds. I'm your boy Recruit Zero.
I'm Uncle Charles.
And shout out to Eggplant Sweats. And we will see you on the next one.
Denzel ain't had no lineup.
That's crazy. They still love him though.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't gotta have a lineup.